Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cannon Strong podcast. Today's a fun episode because I get to celebrate some early milestones for the Cannon Strong Metal project, and I get to talk about what I honestly think is the most ambitious song I've written so far. First, a quick project update. The Cannon Strong Metal project officially launched in January of 2026 with the release of Siam's Fury, Thailand Metal. It's my Thailand-inspired thrash metal single. Now, like every new project, it started slowly. Building an audience, one listener at a time, isn't glamorous, but that's how every band begins. Over the last several months, though, I've really started to see momentum build. Right now, Cannon Strong has over 1,600 monthly Spotify listeners. My song, Let There Be Thrash, has already passed 3,300 Spotify streams in about a month, which has completely exceeded my expectations. Over on YouTube, things have been growing too. The channel is approaching 3,000 subscribers, and Villa Big House music video has reached over 13,000 views. And the newest video, Slave to the Screen, is already approaching 2,000 views after only about a week. For a one-man independent metal project, that's incredibly encouraging. I'm also seeing more people checking out the Patreon page, reading the posts, listening to the podcasts, watching the behind-the-scenes videos, and that's honestly exciting because Patreon is what keeps this project alive. Every song, every music video, every podcast, every ridiculous idea I decide to turn into thrash metal is funded because members of Metal Militia believe in independent music. If you've already joined, thank you. If you're thinking about joining, I'd love to have you. Every membership helps fund the next song, the next video, and the next crazy project. If we're going to keep hard rock, heavy metal, and thrash alive in a world dominated by disposable pop music, it takes people who are willing to support independent artists. So thank you. Now, let's talk about song release number 7. The world isn't ready. Seriously, this is probably the hardest hitting Cannon Strong song yet. It's called Global Calamity. I think one of the unique things about thrash metal is that a 5-minute song can sometimes communicate more emotion than a 30-minute speech. Thrash has always been about challenging frustration, anger, outrage, and sometimes even hope into something loud enough that people can't ignore. Global Calamity is exactly that. This wasn't an easy song to write. The COVID pandemic affected every single person on this planet one way or another. It changed how we worked. It changed how we traveled, how we saw friends and family, how we trusted institutions, how we viewed science, how we viewed politics. It affected literally every part of daily life. For me, the pandemic became deeply personal when I lost one of my best friends, Rob Vitale, the vocalist for Black Train Jack. That loss stayed with me. So when I sat down to write this song, I didn't start by asking, how do I write a controversial song? I started by asking, what did it actually feel like to live through those years? Because no matter where people stood politically, no matter what they believed about the pandemic, I think most everyone remembers the uncertainty, the empty streets, the non-stop news coverage, the isolation, the fear, the constant flood of conflicting information. No one really knew what tomorrow was going to look like. That emotional experience became the foundation of the song. And as I continued writing, I found myself thinking about responsibility. What can we learn from this pandemic? How do we prevent the next one? Those questions naturally found their way into the lyrics. The song explores competing ideas about how the pandemic began, reflects on the confusion that surrounded those early years, criticizes failure in leadership and communication, and asks listeners to think about how societies respond when faced with a global crisis. But it does something equally important. It recognizes the people who stepped forward when the world desperately needed them. The doctors, the nurses, the emergency responders, the scientists who worked around the clock to understand a brand new virus and develop vaccines and treatments in record time. Whatever disagreements people may have had over those years, there were countless individuals who put themselves at risk to help others. They deserve recognition. As many of you know, I've spent my life working in science as a scientist, a science writer, and a former science teacher. Science isn't about having all the answers. Science is a process. It's our best method for testing ideas, challenging assumptions, correcting mistakes, and gradually getting closer to the truth. That's something worth protecting. One of the goals of Global Calamity isn't to tell listeners what to think. It's to encourage people to ask difficult questions, to think critically, to remember what happened, and hopefully be better prepared the next time humanity faces a global outbreak. Because there will be a next time, whether it's influenza, Ebola, or something we've never seen before. The question isn't whether another pandemic will happen. The question is whether we'll be better prepared when it does. Ultimately, the song isn't about living in fear. It's about learning from history. It's about valuing science, preparation, honest communication, and the people who dedicate their lives to protecting the public health. And yes, it does all of that while delivering one of the heaviest, fastest Cannon Strong songs I've released so far. Huge riffs, fast guitars, relentless drums, a chorus that refuses to leave your head, and lyrics that pull absolutely no punches. I don't want to give away too much because I want everyone to experience it for themselves. Some songs entertain, some songs make you think. My hope is that Global Calamity does both. As always, thank you for supporting Cannon Strong. Thank you for streaming the music, watching the videos, listening to the podcasts, sharing the songs with your friends, and especially thank you to everyone in Metal Militia for helping to make it all possible. Until next time, keep supporting independent metal, keep questioning, keep learning, and above all, keep thrashing. I'll see you on release number 7, July 17, when Global Calamity drops everywhere. And one final thought. I didn't write Global Calamity to reopen old arguments. I wrote it because history matters. Pandemics don't care about politics. Viruses don't care about borders, ideologies, or opinions. They simply exploit our weaknesses. My hope is the song reminds us to ask hard questions, demand honest answers, support good science, and prepare for whatever comes next. Whether the next global threat is another virus, antibiotic resistance, or something we haven't even imagined yet, we'll face it together or we will fail separately. If this song starts conversations that lead to better preparation, better leadership, better science, and ultimately fewer people suffering the next time disaster strikes, then it's accomplished far more than entertaining people for 5 minutes. That's what Global Calamity is really about.